Было уже время после полудня.
It was now past noon.
И прилив приближался.
And the tide was coming in.
Я не мог остановиться отдохнуть.
I could not stop to rest.
У меня есть еда, у меня есть одежда, у меня есть инструменты.
I have food, I have clothing, I have tools.
Сказал я себе.
I said to myself.
Что мне нужно еще?
What do I need next?
Затем я подумал о диких животных.
Then I thought of the wild animals.
И диких людях.
And wild men.
Которых я мог встретить на берегу.
That I might meet on the shore.
Как я буду защищать себя от них?
How shall I protect myself from them?
В комнате капитана я нашел 2 хороших ружья.
In the captain's room I found 2 good guns.
С сумкой дроби и пороха.
With a bag of shot and a powder horn.
Там были также 2 старые шпаги.
There were also 2 old swords.
Очень ржавые и тупые.
Very rusty and dull.
И пара больших пистолетов.
And a pair of big pistols.
Осмотревшись,
By looking around.
я обнаружил также 3 маленьких бочонка пороха.
I found also 3 small kegs of powder.
2 из них были сухими.
2 of these were dry.
Но другой был мокрым.
But the other was wet.
И ни на что не годился.
And good for nothing.
Заняло больше часа уложить все это в сохранности на мой плот.
It took more than an hour to get all these safely placed on my raft.
У меня теперь была довольно тяжелая поклажа.
I now had quite a heavy load.
И я начал задаваться вопросом.
And I began to wonder.
Как я должен доставить это на берег?
How I should take it to the shore.
У меня не было ни весел, ни паруса для моего плота.
I had no oars nor any sail for my raft.
Но вода была гладкой.
But the water was smooth.
Был прилив.
The tide was flowing in.
И тихий ветер дул по направлению к суше.
And a gentle wind was blowing toward the land.
Я ослабил веревку.
I loosed the rope.
которой плот был привязан к кораблю,
that held the raft to the ship.
и скоро начал мое маленькое путешествие.
And soon began my little voyage.
Прилив был сейчас столь высоким,
The tide was now so high
что суша была намного дальше,
That the dry land was much farther away.
но плот плыл ровно,
But the raft floated smoothly.
и приближался ближе и ближе к берегу.
and drew nearer and nearer to the shore.
Как только я подумал, что я в безопасности,
Just as I thought myself safe,
я обнаружил, что вхожу в сильное течение.
I found that I was entering a strong current,
которое относит меня в узкий залив,
which carried me into a narrow bay,
вдалеке от моего первого места приземления.
far from my first landing place.
Там плот крепко застрял.
There the raft stuck fast.
На ужасной песчаной отмели.
on an ugly sandbar.
Я был готов перевернуться,
And was like to be tipped over.
но прилив все поднимался.
but the tide was still rising.
Вскоре плот поплыл свободно.
Soon the raft floated free.
И снова медленно скользил по течению.
And glided slowly along again with the current.
Через короткое время я обнаружил, что меня несло
In a short time I found that I was being carried up
в маленькую речку с высокими берегами на каждой стороне,
Into a little river with high banks on each side.
с куском доски вместо весла
with a piece of plank for an oar.
и я толкнул плот к берегу справа.
I pushed the raft toward the shore on my right.
Вода была теперь столь мелкой,
The water was now so shallow
что я мог достать до дна.
That I could reach the bottom.
Плот медленно плыл вперед.
The raft floated slowly onward,
пока не достиг маленькой бухточки,
Until it reached a little cove,
в которую я втолкнул его.
into which I pushed it.
Вода была там вполне тихой.
The water there was quite still.
Я осмотрелся, ища место, чтобы пристать к берегу.
I looked around for a place to land.
Но берега были отвесными.
But the banks were steep.
И если бы я наехал одним концом моего плота на берег,
And if I ran one end of my raft upon the shore,
другой конец мог опуститься так низко, что мог сбросить все мои товары в воду.
the other end might sink so low as to slide all my goods into the water.
Самое лучшее, что я мог сделать, это ждать.
The best I could do was to wait.
Пока прилив не достигнет максимальной высоты.
Till the tide was at its highest.
Тогда я мог толкнуть немного дальше вглубь суши.
Then I might push a little farther inland,
Где берег был несколько ниже.
where the bank was somewhat lower.
Так я и сделал.
This I did.
Прилив поднимался выше и выше.
The tide rose higher and higher.
Наконец, к моей радости,
At last, to my joy,
вода достигла вершины берега.
The water reached the top of the bank.
Она покрыла ровную полоску земли за этой вершиной.
It covered a level spot of ground beyond.
Я подождал немного дольше.
I waited a little longer.
Вода на ровном месте была в футу глубиной.
the water on the level space was a foot deep.
Поток стал отступать.
The tide was beginning to flow out.
Со всей своей силой я толкнул плот на мелкое место.
With all my might I pushed the raft into this shallow place.
Поток отступил быстро.
The tide ebbed fast.
Вскоре плот был оставлен высоко и сухим на земле.
Soon the raft was left high and dry on the land.
Теперь было легко разгрузить добро.
It was easy now to unload the goods
И отнести его в безопасное место.
And carry them to a safe place.
This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, visit LibriVox.org. Robinson Crusoe written anew for children by James Baldwin. Chapter 10. I Carry Some Things Ashore. It was now past noon and the tide was coming in. I could not stop to rest. I have food, I have clothing, I have tools, I said to myself. What do I need next? Then I thought of the wild animals and wild men that I might meet on the shore. "How shall I protect myself from them?" I said. In the captain's room, I found 2 good guns with a bag of shot and a powder horn. There were also 2 old swords, very rusty and dull, and a pair of big pistols. By looking around, I found also 3 small kegs of powder. 2 of these were dry, but the other was wet and good for nothing. It took more than an hour to get all these safely placed on my raft. I now had quite a heavy load, and I began to wonder how I should take it to the shore. I had no oars nor any sail for my raft, but the water was smooth, the tide was flowing in, and a gentle wind was blowing toward the land. I loosed the rope that held the raft to the ship, and soon began my little voyage. The tide was now so high that the dry land was much farther away than when I came out, but the raft floated smoothly along and drew nearer and nearer to the shore. Just as I thought myself safe, I found that I was entering a strong current which carried me into a narrow bay, far from my first landing place. There the raft stuck fast on an ugly sandbar, and was like to be tipped over. It was all I could do to keep the heavy boxes from slipping off into the water. But the tide was still rising. Soon, the raft floated free and glided slowly along again with the current. In a short time, I found that I was being carried up into a little river with high banks on each side. With a piece of plank for an oar, I pushed the raft toward the shore on my right. The water was now so shallow that I could reach the bottom. The raft floated slowly onward until it reached a little cove into which I pushed it. The water there was quite still. I looked around for a place to land, but the banks were steep, and if I ran one end of my raft upon the shore, the other end might sink so low as to slide all my goods into the water. The best I could do was to wait till the tide was at its highest. Then I might push a little farther inland, where the bank was somewhat lower. This I did. The tide rose higher and higher. At last, to my joy, the water reached the top of the bank. It covered a level spot of ground beyond. I waited a little longer. The water on the level space was a foot deep. The tide was beginning to flow out. With all my might, I pushed the raft into this shallow place. The tide ebbed fast. Soon the raft was left high and dry on the land. It was easy now to unload the goods and carry them to a safe place.